Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Cārvāka podcast. This is your host kushalmehra. All right. So first of all, we could not preview the UFC 272 pay-per-view, so we are reviewing it. दुनिया में वैसे भी बहुत सारी फाइटिंग चालू है, तो हमने बोला थोड़ा दूसरे टाइप की फाइटिंग की हम लोग रिव्यू कर लें. So as always, I have Sham with me. Sham, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to do this.
ओके तो क्या करना है, पहले पेपर व्यू को करना है शाम की, पहले दूसरे न्यूज़ करना है? तो पेपर व्यू को ही कर लेते हैं पहले.
Pay-per view करते हैं पहले, and then we'll do the other news because I have
ठीक.
some grudges with the pay-per-view as well.
Yes, वो तो मतलब so let's start with this. So
हाँ.
how would you rate this pay-per-view on a scale of 1 to 10?
I thought it was entertaining. I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. For 8 and above, it needs to be that November pay-per-view, whatever pay-per-view that was. I can't remember which one
नवंबर
that was.
तो
but
क्या हो गया, ये 272 था ना, तो
हाँ.
268 बोल रहा है ना तू? नहीं, 268 या 269?
268, yeah, 269. Yeah, that one. Whichever the November pay-per-view was. That was like a 9 in my book.
Yeah, honestly मेरे हिसाब से मेरा पर्सनल व्यू है कि this was a 6.
Yeah.
And I'll explain why. If you look at the main card, right? So main card had, okay, what do you think was the best fight on the main card? 5 fights the main card में.
Best
Spivak,
fight on
Hardy,
the main card.
Holland,
Can you
Oliveira.
pull up the main card? Can you pull up the main card?
Yeah.
I might not remember.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Let's see. Because
Yeah,
I watched the
because-
entire card with a few friends and it was
कार्ड
fun.
तो मैंने पूरा देखा है.
हाँ.
तो ये तुम्हारी फाइट्स थी.
Okay.
Spivak, Hardy. सबसे
Yeah.
पहले तो इसके ऊपर, does Greg Hardy deserve to be on the main card as a fighter, not as a controversial character?
I mean, probably not as a fighter, but I think Dana White has
He's
shown
lost
us
3 in
over
a
and
row,
over
bro.
again that he cares more about star power than he cares about fighting prowess.
He's lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
He's 2-3 in 5 fights.
Yeah.
He weighed 291 pounds for a heavyweight on fight week. He cut weight for a
Yeah.
heavyweight.
Yeah.
Did you see when he got knocked out, he suddenly woke up? That was like as if किसी ने भूत देख लिया.
Yeah. By Tuivasa, na?
No, by Spivak.
Acha, by Spivak. But
तूने नोट नहीं किया क्या? जो उसका
I didn't realize that he got knocked out. I just thought he was just covering up and, you know.
No. He got knocked out, and then what happened was, because they shared it later on, he suddenly, Spivak उधर जाके चीख रहा है, तो suddenly ऐसे उठता हुआ,
Undertaker की तरह. Yeah, it's very interesting that for a guy who is as large and built like a brick shit house, he doesn't seem to have the kind of chin that you would expect from a guy that large.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's really irritating.
Yeah.
I think he should have been on the prelims or the Fight Pass prelims, to be
Yeah.
very honest.
Yeah.
That's where he should be.
Yeah. But
Yan
people,
Xiaonan
the
should
people
have been
know
on
that,
the
you know,
main
people
card.
come in to watch him lose. So that's why Dana puts him on the main card.
Yeah, he's like that hate viewing, na?
Yeah, hate viewing, exactly.
We hate you so much. We just want to see you
Exactly.
get punched.
So
It's
my
really
favorite fight,
disappointing.
though, I would give it between Bryce Mitchell and Kevin Holland in terms of what I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Bryce Mitchell's performance, and I really enjoyed Kevin Holland's performance. So it would be between those two fights.
Honestly, purely in terms of a fight,
yeah,
because Bryce Mitchell dominated the fight, right?
Completely dominated. I did not expect him to completely dominate, but
Kevin Holland, in my view, lost the first round, and then he got adjusted to the speed,
Yeah.
I guess, of 170 pounds, and he just knocked Oliveira out.
Yeah.
To me, in terms of a barn burner of a fight, because I mean, shout out to Renato Moicano. How the hell? How the hell did he do that?
That's another grudge. That's the first of many grudges that I have with this card. I really thought the fight should have been stopped in the 4th round.
Oh yes. Okay. So I was going to ask you this question. So, when did you think the fight should have been stopped? Round 3 or round 4?
I would say TK round 3, but round 4, at the end of round 4, 100% call the fight off. 100%.
No, but
no
the
doubt
referee
in my
Mark
mind.
Goddard, I think he did
Yeah.
a great job when he said, "You have 30 seconds to show me
Yeah.
something." If you don't show me something, I'm stopping the fight. Mark Goddard was very clear.
Yeah.
And the moment he said that, I don't know what the hell happened. He lit a fire up Renato Moicano's ass and he just
Yeah.
went all crazy. And he won the fifth
Well,
round, by the way.
what I think, honestly, what I think happened when you saw the fifth round, I was watching the fifth round and I saw very clearly Dos Anjos took him down, and then he was in a position to land an elbow. He was in the position to land the same elbow he has been landing for 5 rounds. But I saw him hesitate because उसके सर में इतना बड़ा घाव हो रखा था. I saw Rafael Dos Anjos hesitate a number of times from landing that elbow. And then finally, I think when he stopped landing that elbow, he just stood Moicano up, which in my opinion, was a mistake. I don't know ye kya tha. Was this like compassion on the side of Dos Anjos? But he had so many chances to land that same elbow, but he didn't.
Could have been tired.
Could have been tired. Could have been like, yaar, ye already iska career साला खतरे में है. इसको मैं कितना मारूं अब?
But Dos Anjos, so, this has been like some panoti time because, fights cancelled till now in 2022. So
Yeah.
Volkanovski Holloway got cancelled.
Oh my God.
Makachev Dariush has been cancelled. Dos Anjos
Yeah.
Fiziev has been cancelled. Blahovic Rakic has been cancelled.
Yeah.
And Topuria Evloev has been cancelled till now.
When
Big
was the
fights.
Blahovic and Rakic fight supposed to be?
I think it was scheduled in Jan. I think.
अच्छा January
Jan
already.
में थी.
अच्छा
अभी मार्च में होगी ना?
अच्छा सही है. Yeah, that card यार जो
नहीं sorry, मार्च
Volkanovski-
में थी, मार्च में कैंसिल हुई है था I think.
अच्छा that Volkanovski Holloway card, if Holloway didn't get injured, it would have been one of the best cards of the year. It still is, but it would have been like contender for the best card of the year. वो card देखो यार, crazy card.
Yeah. मगर I think for me the best fight in the entire main card was, to be very honest, Dos Anjos versus Moicano.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the main event. Did you give any round to Masvidal?
Maybe if I'm being very generous, then the third one.
Where he knocked him
Otherwise,
down? That one?
where he like hit him a couple of times really hard and he dropped him in with one shot. Maybe that one, because he hurt Colby pretty badly in that one. But that's it. If I'm being generous, which the referees were apparently the umpires or whatever, the scoring, whoever was doing, they were very keen on being very generous. That's my other gripe from the pay-per-view.
I don't know, man. I think, it could have been given to him because, but Kobe did not even go flat on his back. It's
No.
like
He just
went
like
down.
dropped down to his knee basically
Yeah.
for a second. Yeah.
So let's talk about the impact of the main event.
Yeah.
So first question, where do you think Masvidal goes from here? He's lost 3 fights in a row now.
Yeah. I don't know, because I think because of the level of elite wrestlers in basically every division now, people who are just pure strikers, and Masvidal is one of the best boxers in the UFC, but people who are just pure strikers are going to struggle. And that's what we're seeing with Masvidal, So I think he just does, he can basically, best case scenario for Masvidal is to do what Nate Diaz does, is like money fights where people come to watch the star. People are not interested in watching title fights in that case. So he takes the Nate Diaz route, or he basically retires. Those are the only 2 options left for him, I think.
And Kobe, what did you make of Kobe Covington calling Dustin Poirier out? What did you make
That
of
was curious. That was curious because maybe he's realizing that Kamaru Usman is probably going to defend his title one more time and then go do boxing, because he's very keen on doing boxing. So maybe he's realizing that, theek hai, what I'll do is I'll bide my time. I'll beat Poirier. When I beat Poirier, my star power is at an all-time high. And then when this guy pisses off to go do boxing, then I'll be like, okay, look, I just beat Masvidal and Poirier, 2 of the biggest stars in the UFC. Give me that title. And then he can get the next title fight. So he's probably preparing the groundwork for a time when Usman is not fighting in the UFC.
So the thing they have against Kobe Covington, which I think is unfair in my view, is they say he did not fight Tyron Woodley when Tyron Woodley was at his best. He was washed. He has fought a going down Masvidal, a Masvidal that's not at his peak. He has defeated a Dos Anjos who's not at his peak, which is debatable because I think Dos Anjos is pretty solid as far as his abilities are concerned even now. So they say he's not defeated a Vicente Luque or a Leon Edwards, who are upcoming fighters and ranked fighters in that sense. I mean, he's finally beaten a ranked fighter in Masvidal, so you can't say. And he has been the one who has come closest to giving the biggest and toughest opposition to Kamaru Usman. So I don't know. Usse zyada bichara kya kare Kobe Covington. But yeah, I think the Poirier fight is interesting. Otherwise, Covington he says he wants to fight in International Fight Week. That's what he was saying in the post-match press conference.
Okay.
That's one of the things here, many things.
International Fight Week is when? Like July, right?
June, July में होता है ना. So अगर तभी वो लड़ना चाहता है, so I don't know किसको लड़ेगा वो, honestly, because
I think Poirier is a very smart fight. Like I think he's very smart to call out that fight because again, it does not matter who is where in the pecking order. What matters is which is the money fight and how well can you sell the fight. Colby can do both. Colby understands what the money fight is and Colby understands how to sell fights. So I think it's a very smart call out.
So अच्छा मेरे को एक बात बता. What do you make of this stick of Kobe Covington now?
His like whole persona?
I don't know, man. Going after the kids and the wives. I mean, I don't know. It's coming to a point that I'm getting turned off.
See, you might get turned off, but people enjoy WWE. WWE has such a huge fan base because people enjoy that stuff. And so Chael Sonnen and like people like Colby Covington and people like Conor McGregor, they understand why WWE sells. And so when we might not like it when Conor McGregor says your wife is in me DMs, but the general audience, jinko masala pasand hai, they like it. When Colby Covington says bring your wife and your kid, we might not like it, you might not like it, but the masala audience likes it. So there's a very big masala audience out there. And so you have to sell the
nailed that you suck entrance of Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Perfect.
That is gold.
Yeah. That is just WWE cheap heat gold.
By the way, he took the permission of Kurt Angle. Huh? Kurt Angle ne usko bakaida permission di wo use karne ki.
Tab to even better.
Yeah, Kurt Angle and him, because Kurt Angle is also from a wrestling background now.
Yeah.
So Kobe has a lot of respect there in that sense.
Yeah.
So that's the main card. Obviously,
I think he genuinely like cares about law enforcement and first responders and stuff like that. He donates a lot to them. He does a lot for them. So I think that part is genuine.
So there are rumors that the UFC now, because Islam Makhachev ne pehle haan bola, fir na bola, and he kind of wiggled out of the fight with Dos Anjos. So there are rumors that, I mean, Brett Okamoto ne tweet kiya, so I don't know how true. So the tweet of Okamoto is, if UFC moves forward with rebooking Islam Dariush in June or July, makes sense to me to rebook RDA Fiziev as well. Same time frame, right? Maybe RDA Fiziev in June, Islam Dariush in July. What do you make of it? I think Brett is spot on.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that time frame. I don't know if that works for RDA because he just fought a very tough, 5-round fight. So I don't know if that's enough of a turnaround time, but I like it. I personally like it.
Yeah, I think this is a very good suggestion.
Yeah,
I think Islam is Dana ने तो press conference में बोल दिया ना, Islam तो Dariush को ही लड़ेगा. और Dana ने एक बार बोल दिया तो बोल दिया.
I also think he's one fight away. If Islam beats Dariush, I think he has a solid claim for a title fight.
Yes, I agree with you.
At the end of the year.
Yep. चलो prelims में तेरे को क्या अच्छा लगा था? यार ये again, did you think Turner versus Malarkey should have been the main fight?
I enjoyed that fight, so I have no problem with it. I really enjoyed
fight
that
अच्छी थी, मगर I mean, don't you think clearly the strawweight Rodriguez Shaunan fight was just like, wow. First of all, this should have been on the main card, in my view, instead of that Dan Hardy.
Yeah. I also really, so this year, light heavyweight wala dekh rahe ho? The
यार ये तो फाइट में मैं सो गया था जेचकू को देख के.
So Nikolai versus Kennedy, I have no idea how Nikolai won. No idea. I know he got the point taken away in the third round for an eye poke, which was accidental. I saw so many eye pokes throughout this card. Not once I saw the referee step up and take the point away, because there was a every second fight had an eye poke basically, and the referee never took away a point. But for some reason in this fight, they decided to nahi nahi ye bahut galat kiya tumne. I will take a point away. Took a point away in the third round, which was, you could say, you could make a good case that it was 1-1 going into the third. Maybe I thought Kennedy won both the first and the second, but he completely dominated in the third round. Completely dominated. It was very close to a 10-8 round. Very close to a 10-8 round. And after that, I can't explain to you how the judges scored that. I have no bloody idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no
think-
idea how they scored that. I don't understand how this guy won.
Yeah, as far as Rodriguez and Shannon was concerned, anybody could have been the winner. I really don't care.
I thought Marina
Because-
won. I thought Marina had the more impactful sort of damage. Like Jan was hitting her, but I think Marina had the more impactful damage.
बाकी मोरोज और अगापोवा का झगड़ा देख के कलेजे को बहुत ठंडक मिली. उनका they have some real beef, man.
Real beef, yeah. That was fun though. That was a good
Those
fight.
girls hate each other.
Yeah, I enjoyed that fight a lot. I enjoyed that
Yeah.
Jalen Turner fight as well, because Jamie Malarkey, yeah, they're as bloody tough as they come. Jamie Malarkey, and to knock that guy out is that's a big deal.
Yep.
You have
I think-
some an upcoming talent in the lightweight division, so that's good to see.
Yeah. Now let's look at the early prelims. Okay,
Oh my
Jessica
God, ये
I तो
यार।
cancelled हो गया था.
हाँ,
Dustin
यार ये
Jacoby.
Umar Nurmagomedov, that guy is a problem.
That's the only thing I wanted to honestly. Okay, no, we have to talk about Tim Elliott versus Tagir
Oh
Ulanbekov.
yes, of course.
हाय जो कबीब को इस फाइट में गुस्सा आ गया था, मेरे को तो ऐसा लगा था कबीब कहीं
चिल्ला रहा
अंदर
था वो
केज में
साला।
आके धोड़ा लेगा.
मेरे को लग रहा था वो आके तगीर को पीटेगा कि साले
कुत्ता जना होते की करदा पे है.
इतना नाराज. He was like red the whole fight. He was red.
Okay, what did you make of Tim Elliott's grabbing of the glove? Do you think point deduction होना चाहिए था?
होना तो चाहिए था, लेकिन दे तो कॉर्नर से तो कभी लेते नहीं है लोग पॉइंट. कॉर्नर से लेते नहीं है. ओलिवेरा से उन्होंने लिया नहीं. ओलिवेरा ने भी किया था और डस्टिन पोरियर वाले फाइट में. तो अब रूल्स को आप या तो इक्वली अप्लाई करो या
ने
फिर
तो
मत अप्लाई
ऐसा
करो.
आंख में घुसेड़ा था.
किसने?
कैशुएरा का याद नहीं है?
हाँ, कैशुएरा तो आंख में डाला था. या तो अब the referees have shown कि वो लोग इंटरेस्टेड नहीं है उसमें पॉइंट वन डिडक्ट करने में.
टिम एलियट भी शाना आदमी है. भाई
fought a great fight though यार. He fought a great fight.
पटाक दिया उसने उसको.
हाँ, फाइट अच्छी लड़ी उसने. I was very impressed with this fight.
Yeah, he's very unorthodox, ना Tim Elliott.
Like good movement, good wrestling.
So Umar Nurmagomedov, obviously Joe Rogan का post fight blah 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 blah. उसका नाम नहीं बोल पाया बेचारा Rogan. That was so funny.
I'm here with blah 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 blah.
Blah blah blah. I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. Umar blah 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 blah. That was so funny.
That was
amazing.
That was funny.
Yeah, but
this guy is a problem. Yeah, this guy is a serious
no,
problem.
14-0. This is his second fight in UFC, so we get that. But so who do you put him up against? So 135 pounds hai. So I think Josh.
तो अभी is he ranked now?
Thompson ने अच्छा
Nurmagomedov, is he ranked? in
नहीं,
the
rank
UFC
नहीं है,
now?
rank
अभी
नहीं है,
rank
rank
नहीं
नहीं
है.
है.
अच्छा.
Rank नहीं है. He primarily is a striker who can wrestle a bit when needed.
नहीं यार,
He's not like Khabib.
he's a Sambo world champion. Sambo world champion है ये आदमी. This guy can wrestle. And Sambo is a very, very complex wrestling art. So he's Brian Kelleher, yaar. Brian Kelleher is not a chump. Brian Kelleher is a fucking monster. ठीक है. So to do what he did to Brian Kelleher is very impressive. It's very impressive.
Absolutely. Brian Kelleher को जिस तरीके से इस बंदे ने handle
जानवर है
किया
Brian
है.
Kelleher.
I think 135 pounds में इसका
क्या
third
है?
अगली दो fight.
Can you pull up the top 15 of featherweight?
Yeah,
I
मैं
think
UFC.com
there's a
पे
lot of
जाता हूँ.
interesting fights for him there.
UFC.com पे जाता हूँ. रुक, मैं खोलता हूँ. UFC.com.
Dagestani production line से इतने लोग निकल के आ रहे हैं ना, and the amazing thing about the Dagestani production line is they all look exactly the same. It's almost like they're produced in a factory. बाल भी सेम कटवाएंगे, दाढ़ी भी सेम रखेंगे, सब एक जैसे दिखते हैं.
Okay, so 135 pounds में देख अभी Rafael Assunção, Song Yadong, Ricky Simon, Sean O'Malley, Frankie Edgar, Marlon Moraes, Pedro Munoz. मैं तेरे को नंबर 9 से लेकर नंबर 15 बताएं क्योंकि टॉप 8 का बोल के कोई मतलब नहीं है उम्र को.
Not 9
आई
to
थिंक
15.
असनसाओ या सॉन्ग यडोंग परफेक्ट मैचअप होएगा उमर नुमागोमेडोव के लिए.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Song Yadong is a striker. Umar is primarily a striker. He's a kicker basically. I think इसका background taekwondo भी है, taekwondo में भी है.
Okay.
So he's not that he can't box, but he's primarily a kicker. I mean, तूने उसकी leg movement देखी होगी तो समझ पड़ जाता है वो taekwondo background से होएगा.
Yeah, his leg kicks hard.
Dude, उसकी लात देख रहा था कैसे हिल रही थी, उसकी मूवमेंट देख रहा था.
मेरे
को मेरी लात इधर से उधर करने को दिक्कत होती है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है बुढ़ा मैं, और ये लोग ऐसे करते हैं, मेरे को बड़ा हीन भावना आती है. हाँ, इंटरनली रुक जा, मैं ना रैंकिंग शेयर करता हूँ. रैंकिंग शेयर करते हैं क्योंकि हमारे कविंगटन चाचा के बारे में भी बात करनी पड़ेगी फिर से. ये देख, ये रैंकिंग है तेरी चाचा, ये देखिए रैंकिंग है.
So that's the 15.
135 pound, no?
Yeah, I think Song Yadong or Rafael Assunção is a good shout actually. Those are good fights.
या अगर एकदम, और देख एक बार उसने सॉन्ग यडोंग या असनसिया को हरा दिया ना, या रिकी सिमोन, एनीवन, फिर उसको सीधा डोमिनिक क्रूज लेवल पे जाना चाहिए.
Yeah, then you can get I think after that you get a Pedro Munoz or you get a Sean O'Malley.
Pedro Munoz, Moraes
or Sean O'Malley. Yeah, I think those are good fights. He might want to fight Frankie Edgar because that's a high profile fight. He's a legend of the sport. वो भी interesting रहेगा.
वो है, वो तेरी बात में दम है.
मगर
ये था रैंकिंग. मगर एक बार मेरे को वेल्टरवेट की भी रैंकिंग देखनी थी. वेल्टरवेट में अभी देख, बर्न्स तो लड़ रहा है चिमाएव से, ठीक है, वो उससे लड़ रहा है. आई थिंक मास्विडाल और स्टीवन थॉमसन की फाइट होनी चाहिए. इट वुड बी अ ग्रेट फाइट.
Yeah, it's a good rematch. It's a good rematch because Steven dominated him in the first fight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But it would be a good fight. नहीं तो I mean वंडर बॉय किससे लड़ने वाला है अभी मेरे को बताना. एडवर्ड्स, लुके, बर्न्स, बिलाल नहीं लड़ेंगे. बिलाल ने तो हरा दिया थॉमसन को, ठीक है. थॉमसन लड़ेगा तो इनसे ही लड़ेगा, अभी इससे तो लड़ेगा नहीं बिल्कुल. ये तो अंकल सीधा इधर जा रहे हैं. ठीक है.
ये लुके की एडवर्ड्स के साथ फाइट है क्या, या बिलाल मोहम्मद के साथ?
पता नहीं लुके क्या कर रहा है. लुके भी इंतजार में है.
लुखा है वो, लुके नहीं है वो.
बेचारा है यार, उसका बैड लक खराब चल रहा है.
उसका बैड लक बहुत खराब है यार. वो इतना entertaining fighter is one of my favorite fighters to watch.
He's one of I am with you. He's one of my favorite fighters too यार. मजा आता है उसको देख के. क्या फाइट करता है. I mean the way him and Tyron Woodley
he's the most sharif साला murderer I've ever seen.
Oh shit.
इतना शरीफ किलर है ना वो.
ऐसा पप्पी देते पंच मार देता है.
पप्पी दे के लोगों की जान लेता है वो.
माँ कसम, डेंजर आदमी है.
Yeah.
I mean it's absolutely crazy. So मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है मास्विडाल वर्सेस थॉमसन होगा, या मास्विडाल वर्सेस बिलाल मोहम्मद नहीं करना चाहिए यार. He should not fight wrestlers. I think Luke and Masvidal would be a good fight, huh? Barn burner.
Yeah, barn burner. Luke Masvidal would be fun.
A great fight. Masvidal, Luke.
And he can make a very good. And if Luke beats Masvidal, you can make a very good claim for a title fight after beating a guy who was in a title fight 2 fights ago. So that's a very good, like, high profile fight as well.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Does he have a match scheduled, Luke, or no?
I don't know यार. मेरे को honestly इतना याद नहीं आ रहा है मेरे को.
Let me see. Let me check.
चेक कर. तब तक मैं देखता हूँ क्या ये 2 सुपर चैट्स थे. I want to join UFC. I don't know any martial art, but I have a good heart. Can I win in UFC? देखो, ये आधा ट्रोलू क्वेश्चन है, फिर भी मैं तुम्हें आंसर देता हूँ इसका. You have to join a UFC gym. If you are in America, just join a BJJ. You have to learn grappling of some kind. So you'll have to join a mixed martial arts gym. I don't know which state because.
Oh, Luke versus Bilal Muhammad हो रहा है भाई.
बिलाल मोहम्मद और लुके हो रहा है तो फिर
Luke
ठीक है.
versus Bilal Muhammad, April 16th.
हाँ तो फिर ठीक है, फिर ठीक है.
That's a good
फिर हो
fight.
रहा है तो ठीक है.
That is a
So yeah, so
very
Abhijit
good fight.
Sudhakar, I don't know which state in America you are in. Find
Hmm.
out where a mixed martial arts gym is and you can join.
आजकल almost हर state में है यार. आजकल almost हर state में.
So
किसी भी state में
yeah,
हो, you'll find it.
you'll have gyms in New York, you'll have gyms in
Everywhere.
California, you have
Everywhere
gyms in
basically has a
Florida,
gym.
everywhere,
Yeah.
basically everywhere. New
Yeah.
Jersey, you just have gyms everywhere. इंडिया से यूएफसी फाइटर क्यों नहीं निकलते? गुजराती और बंगाली विल मेक ग्रेट फाइटर्स, पंजाबीज एंड हरियाणवीज विल नॉट मेक ग्रेट फाइटर्स. अगेन ट्रोल बेट है मगर ठीक है भाई. हरियाणवी और पंजाबी फाइटर नहीं बन सकते. सही बात.
सबसे ज्यादा रेसलर वही से निकल कर आ रहे हैं. सबसे बढ़िया बेस साला हरियाणा के लोगों का बना हुआ है फिलहाल. इफ दे वांट टू गो इनटू यूएफसी.
हमारी मोस्ट फेमस मिक्स मार्शल आर्टिस्ट तो हरियाणवी ही है.
हरियाणवी है, उसका रेसलिंग बेस है, इसलिए रेसलिंग बेस वाले लोगों को इमीडिएट नेचुरल एडवांटेज होता है.
या सो या आई थिंक दैट वाज प्रीटी मच द कार्ड. अभी थोड़ा दूसरी चीजों के बारे में बात करते हैं. आई थिंक I have to start because I don't know how to react to this news. I was kind of confused. But okay, I'll share the page. Obviously, I'm talking about Cain Velasquez, what has happened with him.
Yeah, I haven't followed up कि उसके बाद हुआ क्या है, but I did hear the news.
Cain Velasquez allegedly shot at a man accused of molesting a relative possibly 100 times.
Huh.
That's very disturbing.
That is disturbing. Wow,
First
I did
of all,
not know that.
you know, I mean, your heart goes out. Obviously, these are allegations, but
yeah,
considering the sensitive nature of the allegations, your heart goes out to Cain and his family.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
Huh.
I don't have children.
Yeah.
But I have friends and I have my nephew. If I found out something like this happened to someone I care and love,
yeah,
I really don't know how I would react.
Yeah, Cain Velasquez could have probably killed him with his bare hands if he wanted.
Well, that's what Joe said, ना. Joe ने अपनी podcast में यही बोला ना.
Yeah.
Joe ने अपने podcast में यही बोला ना कि मुझे गम है कि उसने बंदूक चलाई. उसको पकड़ के धोना चाहिए था.
पकड़ के, exactly. Well, इतना like imagine like, oh my God, imagine Cain Velasquez being angry at you. That's not something.
Yeah, you don't want a pissed off Cain Velasquez, but I mean the nature of the report is, man. And 100 times, that means it was happening constantly.
That means it's been going on for years.
It was such a disturbing news. You just listen to stuff like this and you don't know, you get numb for a while. He's been arrested. Obviously, right now, there's going to be a court case and everything. The entire MMA community has come out, overwhelmingly in support of Cain. They've said free Cain. And, if you follow MMA Twitter, you'll know.
Yeah.
In fact, Derek Brunson raised 10K. USD.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, for Cain to fight his case.
Wow, that's incredible.
And it was very disgusting the way, this whole incident has come out. I mean, it's just very disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean, especially that 100 times bit. I don't know what to...
Yeah, that's rough. That does mean it's it's been happening for years. और उसको अभी पता चला है. And if you can imagine being like a parent or an uncle of somebody and something's happening to them for years और आपको पता नहीं है, तो you'll feel two things. You'll feel shame and you'll feel anger. And that's a bad combo.
So someone has asked, why don't you cover boxing? Tyson Fury must have. Have you ever heard this podcast? We do cover boxing.
Yeah. I love heavyweight boxing, yeah.
Yeah, so we do. I mean, Tyson Fury is going to fight Dillian White. In fact, that was one of the things I was just about to talk about. So तुमने डाल दिए super chat तो address ही कर लेता हूँ. So just Sham, Dillian White is getting 8 million USD. Tyson Fury is getting 32 million USD. Francis Ngannou.
यही तो चाहिए Ngannou को. यही तो चाहिए कि मैं कितने दिन 6 figures कमाऊंगा कितने दिन. मेरे को 7 चाहिए भाई.
Dude, this is just downright disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see that interview of Luke Thomas on his personal YouTube channel?
Okay,
with
with Ngannou?
not with Inganu, on Fighter
अच्छा
Pay overall. रुक जा, मैं ना वो शो कर देता हूँ वीडियो.
हाँ
I can't play it because copyright strike. और by the way, तेरे को याद है जो हम लोग ने वो इंटरव्यू का सेगमेंट प्ले किया था माँ खंड का?
हाँ हाँ
मैं तेरे को बोलना भूल गया, मेरे को कॉपीराइट स्ट्राइक आया उसके लिए.
यार
और बोलो.
हद है हम लोग तो इनको फेयर यूज समझ में नहीं आता क्या वी आर नॉट जस्ट शोइंग इट हम लोग वी वर showing it as part of a discussion and we were commenting on that video if you're showing it as part of a discussion if you're commenting on the video it falls within the fair use laws of YouTube किस बात का कॉपीराइट
या
है भाई
अरे कॉपीराइट स्ट्राइक किया, मैंने हटा दिया वो सेगमेंट, मेरे को पंगे में नहीं पड़ना था.
नहीं
तो ये
सही
है
है
वीडियो फाइटर पे. एवरीथिंग यू वांटेड टू नो, हाउ मच डज कॉनर मैकग्रेगर गेट पेड. जॉन नैश आया था.
अच्छा
एंड please watch this video, everyone, if you are interested in the topic of fighter pay as much as I am
हाँ
really interested, so I do follow it. And I think Luke Thomas, kudos to him. Look, I may have multiple disagreements with Luke Thomas on political issues, but
yeah
I just can't help but respect the man.
yeah
I follow his journalism. He is one of the finest journalists you'll find in mixed martial arts.
and somebody who
Very
has a very good
consistent.
understanding of the art
Yes, very good understanding of the art. And you should also see another video that I would highly recommend on a very mature take that Luke took on the entire Russia Ukraine
on
crisis, where
banning
he
Russian
basically came
fighters
out,
right
on the banning of Russian fighters in MMA, and how he
uh,
said this is a terrible idea, which I agree. In fact, that was
yes.
one of the things I wanted to take your view on also,
yeah
that with this whole Russia Ukraine thing happening and the weaponization
yeah
that is happening of using companies. Now, the one thing I know is that UFC is pretty right wing, whether you like
yeah
it or not. UFC is right wing. So I don't see UFC doing it. But do you think in general, like they canceled Dostoevsky in some Milan university?
yeah
I mean, what is wrong with these people?
yeah it
Is
is
my whole point.
I find it very interesting because अगर इसी तरह से हम लोगों को कानून अप्लाई करने हैं तो एक it sets a very slippery slope because अगर ये हमको करना ही है then you know think about the sheer number of regime change operations brutal regime change operations I might add that the United States has been involved in over the last many years तो क्या retroactively should we be banning Americans from the Olympics, from the World Cup, from all of those things? Just I just think it's a very slippery slope. I think it sets a very bad example.
Hmm.
Then India can tomorrow make a very good case कि यार ये जो देश है हमारे पड़ोस में पाकिस्तान ये इतने
Hmm.
सालों से हमारे सिविलियंस को मार रहा है बेगुनाह लोगों का खून कर रहा है टेररिज्म सपोर्ट करके
Hmm.
पाकिस्तानियों को बैन करो from every event. Every country can
Hmm.
start making this case then. So I don't think that individuals of a particular country need to necessarily suffer for the actions that their government take, because then
Yeah.
basically half the world's athletes will be culpable.
Yeah. And shout out to Vitaly Klitschko,
Yeah.
Vladimir Klitschko, Vasily Lomachenko,
Oh my God.
and Alexander Usyk.
Yeah.
Those mofos are going and fighting
Yeah.
in Ukraine. They're
That's
like, screw
ridiculous.
this shit, we're going in. They
Yeah.
could have stayed out. They are
Yeah. They could
multi-millionaires.
have easily been evacuated.
They could have taken a private jet out of the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
They went in by choice.
Yeah.
Now, this is a sports podcast. We're not going to make it political, but I just think we have to give a shout out to so someone has asked, is Alexander Usyk's career over because of the war? No, I think यार अभी Usyk की तो rematch भी है Joshua के against भाई
Yeah.
David the Goliath जो आपका
Well,
नाम
is
पता
he?
नहीं
He's
थे.
in Ukraine, na? Abhi.
वो अभी तो लड़ रहा है, but I
So
think
let's
एक
let's
महीने में
hope.
hopefully
Let's
सब
well.
solve हो जाएगा. The fight
I
might
mean,
get delayed slightly, but
well,
did you
first and
hear the
foremost,
big?
let's hope he's okay in at the end of the month because the way
Yeah,
the
man,
conflict is shaping
I
up.
am seriously concerned about that.
Yeah.
But on on not on just fighter pay, but on the business of boxing and martial arts in
Yeah.
general. On so there was this tweet by this handle that was, I think, shared by Luke Thomas also,
Yeah.
where per Meltzer, Triller lost $811 million in 2021.
Oh my God.
Triller, I hope you know what Triller is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
वो
Yeah.
Mike Tyson और वो सब का
Yeah, basically TikTok का copy है.
Okay, but ये तो ऑफिशियल इनका पूरा एक क्रिस विलियमसन ने शेयर किया था द जोन के बारे में. Dude, this just freaking blew me.
अच्छा.
ये तूने देखा है? The Zone finally filed their late accounts to end of 2020. They make for an eye-opening reading.
Oh my
Losses total to
God.
$1.3 billion, more or less the same as the previous year. Net liabilities, negative assets totaled over $1 billion.
Oh.
I mean, what the actual F?
Yeah. Wow.
I'm just putting it out there.
तो
I'm going to read the
DAZN का तो
thread for
बहुत
you.
सारे, they have a lot of do they only do fights or do they do other sports as well? दूसरे sports भी करते
They
हैं
do
ना?
boxing primarily. That's all they do.
अच्छा.
Look at this. Prior to recent recapitalization, Access had lent a further $1 billion to the company during
Oh
the
my
year
goodness.
and $1.1 billion after the year end to fund operating activities. The loans attracted interest of 30%.
Oof.
Matchroom Boxing USA, DAZN 40% owner, confirmed as loss-making for the year end 2020. Customer numbers not reported, which seems bizarre for a company that generates revenue from customer relationships. Interestingly, they report that UK revenue comprised 5% of the total, so 43 million.
My goodness.
Assuming average revenue of about 120 per year suggests 350 UK customers.
Yeah.
The zone have future commitments to rights holders of 5 billion. They need to start generating cash and profits quickly. On the evidence of these numbers, the business is miles away from self-sufficiency.
Oof.
And this, by the way, the zone was
Oh
all
my
big
God.
talks about pay-per-view is
Yeah.
dead, streaming is in. Do you know what they're doing with Canelo in the next two fights that he signed
Pay-per-view,
with?
right?
Yes. So pay-per-view is not really dead,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they were planning with. I think they might have overestimated the number of people that want to sign up to a streaming service for watching fights, because they probably saw the success of ये जो UFC का जो है, whatever their streaming service is
By
called.
the way, तेरी stream बंद हुई होगी ना pay-per-view में round 2 में और Masvidal
Oh,
Kobe में.
Masvidal वाले में हाँ, it was everywhere. I don't know what happened,
Yeah.
but everywhere. For
नहीं
like
हमारे यहाँ
30
नहीं
40
हुई,
seconds.
वो
अच्छा
तुम्हारे
नहीं
वहाँ
हुआ?
हुई है, हमारे यहाँ नहीं हुई, इंडिया में नहीं हुई.
Oh, सिर्फ US में हुआ होगा फिर. Yeah, but all over the US for like 20 30 seconds it was gone. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened with that. Yeah, so
ESPN की problem
what
थी
do you
वो.
think explains that? What do you think explains the difference between the success of जो UFC की जो streaming है and the zone का जो streaming model है?
UFC की streaming model is far more stable and I'll explain my reasons for it. The Zone की streaming model में आपको क्या मिलता है? एक limited archive of fights मिलता है, ठीक है? अभी आप UFC फाइट पास देखो. सो अगर मैंने UFC मेरा फाइट पास अभी खोला, ठीक है शाम, आई एम जस्ट ओपनिंग माय फाइट पास. आई गेट LFA, आई गेट ऑल प्राइड, ऑल अदर स्ट्राइक फोर्स फाइट्स प्रीवियस जितनी है और टोटल UFC फाइट्स, ठीक है. उसके बाद आई गेट मूवीज, मार्शल आर्ट्स की मूवीज वो लोग एयर करते हैं उसके अंदर.
I didn't know that.
यस, मार्शल आर्ट मूवीज भी आती है उसमें. उसके अतिरिक्त UFC की programs होते हैं. They do a lot of other stuff, by the way.
Right.
They do tons of work. It is, I think, around $100 a year for me, my UFC fight pass, plus you get all your prelims and fight pass prelims. For me,
Yeah.
as an Indian viewer, I get all of that. Also, see, what happens is sometimes, yeah, people might think ये MMA podcast के लिए कौन homework करता है, मगर मेरे जैसे nerds करते हैं. I like to go back sometimes and watch things because
Yeah.
I know we don't make money off this, but this is a passion project for Sham and I. We love mixed martial arts, so we just do this out of love. But even if you do something out of love, you should do it properly.
Yeah.
So I do it properly. I like to go and research क्या fight थी, मैं वापस जाके देखता हूँ. I think overall the Fight Pass is a much better product than ESPN Plus. अभी ESPN Plus में तेरे को जब तक एरियल हल्वानी का शो था ना, फिर भी तेरे को एक्स्ट्रा मिल रहा था. तू ईमानदारी से बता, do you watch DC and RC? I love DC.
I watch it on YouTube. मैं YouTube पे कभी-कभी देखता हूँ. Sometimes I watch the clips. I don't watch the whole episode. Because the I think they can improve it, but the conversation right now is a little bit chonky. दोनों का जो तुक है अभी ठीक नहीं बैठ रहा है. Maybe it'll improve.
So okay, चलो और 2-3 न्यूज़ थे शाम.
हाँ.
ये प्योर एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए था. आई एम नॉट ट्राइंग टू पुट डाउन ब्राइस मिचेल. आई लव दैट गाय. I just love his innocence, and claiming that I'm going to donate $45,000 to kids, which is 50% of his tab, pretty much, was special. That guy is special. But तूने ये देखा ये clip?
I don't think so.
Wasn't obviously what I was planning, but compare the numbers of school shootings, mass shootings in the U.S. to the ones in Canada. I mean, it's not even close, right? So what's the explanation for that?
Well, first off, my number one explanation is that government is in a lot of these. I believe that
You think the American government has had a role in these school shootings in America?
They have an agenda. They set up mass shootings and then blame the AR-15s and say, "Oh, now we're coming to take your AR-15s because these were used."
How do you explain why they haven't taken away the AR-15s, despite the fact that there have been hundreds of mass shootings?
Let me tell you why they have not taken away the AR-15s, because this is God's land and they cannot. They do not have the power to take away the AR-15s. They have been trying and they have been trying and they have been trying. The people are too strong. I will die before I hand these guns over.
To be fair to him, I think he's an innocent guy and he could have been misunderstood. But he was asked this question again after the in the post-match fight press conference, and he said, "We have the First Amendment because we have the Second Amendment." He's just your old school Republican.
I mean, it's a very sort of milquetoast Republican talking point. We have the First Amendment because we have the Second Amendment. And the thing is, people are like, why do you have 50 guns? And people are like, because to fight the oppressive government. But yeah, if the government wanted, they will bomb you out of the sky with their freaking drones. ठीक है? जब तक आप अपना गन लोड कर रहे हो, तब तक आप भस्म हो जाओगे. तो this argument is so stupid कि I will fight the government with my AR-15. भाई या तू रहने दे. चला ले टैंक पे गोली.
ये अभी मुझे मालूम नहीं है. मैं 20 सेकंड तक प्ले करूंगा और फिर मैं बंद कर दूंगा, क्योंकि कॉपीराइट स्ट्राइक कितने सेकंड में आता है?
वो तो 5 सेकंड में आ जाता है भाई. अगर कॉपीराइट करना है तो it has to be under 5 seconds.
ये साले बेशरम लोग हैं. देख, ये एक वीडियो था, तू ये देखना, मैट श्नेल का.
अच्छा.
He defends the UFC on the fighter issue.
अच्छा.
I would just the
what does he say? What does he say?
He supports
you've heard it.
fire. He supports the whole idea about. He's like, see, his whole angle was that I'm an individual contractor. I would like to negotiate on my own terms. I don't want a union. He's against the fighters union. He's like, I'll do my own thing. You don't tell me what I want to do. Right. That was his stick. And so I'm just putting it out there because, the fighter pay seems to be a very hot topic, but I'm not going to play it because then I don't know, they might do a strike again. They're pagal log. Kind of pagal. I hope I don't get a copyright strike because it's from a regular Twitter handle. For that other video also. So I don't know. If आया तो मैं निकाल दूंगा. मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकता हूँ. But ठीक है. Now, who?
Someone is asking on the comments, who according to you is the GOAT of MMA? For me, it's Khabib. What do you think?
No, George St. Pierre. We had this discussion previously.
Yeah.
For me, it's
John Jones. I think. Without a shadow of a doubt. John Jones.
John Jones se yaad aaya. Did you see that video of him banging his head on the car? Oh. Dude, that was depressing.
Pagal hai yaar, he's lost it. He's lost it.
No, but I think he needs
I think he needs help.
So
I think he needs actual psychiatric help.
No, I think he must be going to a shrink, but that was terrible, man, to see that. And then he tweeted his girl has left him and he keeps tweeting and then deleting and tweeting and deleting. Uski आधी जिंदगी तो tweet करना और tweet delete करने में
निकल जाती है. Yeah.
No, but that was
this is another aspect of fighters जो हम लोग उतना discuss नहीं करते हैं या फिर
mental health
public में उतना discuss नहीं होता है. जो mental health aspect है, बहुत सारे fighters को होता है यार. आप देखो, this is such a fickle job. If imagine being Renato Moicano right now. Your face looks like it's been in a meat grinder. Who knows when your face will heal? Who knows when your body will heal? Who knows how many fights you have left in your career? Before the Dos Anjos fight, maybe you have 10 fights left in your career. Now maybe you have 7 fights left in your career. You don't know. It's such a fickle, और जितना जो सर पे लोग मार खाते हैं, who knows what kind of effect that takes on you. Everybody gets affected with brain damage in a different way. Mark Hunt जैसे लोग हैं who get kicked in the head for like 20 years but उनको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. But there are other people who get affected by CTE much faster. So
also, what did you make of this whole thing of, making it a 5-round fight instead of 3 rounds? क्यों? Why did Anato Moicano had to do a 5-round fight?
Yeah, को main event है ना, इसलिए को main events को हमेशा कर देते हैं 5 round ये लोग.
I hope he gets paid well. He gets paid
Yeah.
well because he is a last minute replacement. I hope the UFC takes care of him.
Yeah.
By the way, nice of the UFC when Bryce Mitchell announced that I'm going to be paying $45,000. Dana said, nah, I'll pay. You don't have to pay.
Yeah, that was good.
So this guy has asked thoughts on Conor. Is he done? Yeah. Chal tu pehle bol, then I'll probably share my thoughts.
यार, imagine yourself in his shoes. When you have literally like not millions, potentially billions of dollars to your name. When when you start fighting in the UFC, your dream is ki yaar, I want to make enough money that I don't have to fight anymore. And I can just, sit back, relax, and enjoy time with my family and enjoy my legacy as a fighter. Two things you have on your mind: your legacy and the money you make. अब Conor ने दोनों चीजें achieve कर ली है. उसकी legacy is set in stone, and he has a golden legacy. He has enough money कि उसकी 7 पुश्तों को साला उंगली उठाने की भी जरूरत नहीं है.
$500 million में उसने अपना एक बहुत मेजर स्टेक इन प्रॉपर 12 बेचा है चाचा.
Yeah. तो उसके पास इतना पैसा है कि उसके 7 पुश्तों को कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. So both the top two things that 99% of fighters have in mind when they start fighting, he has achieved. So you have to question ki, to what extent does he have the kind of hunger that a fighter that does not have those two things has? Somebody like a Vicente Luque who does not have the two things that Conor McGregor has. How hungry is Vicente Luque compared to Conor McGregor? How hungry is Umar Nurmagomedov compared to Conor McGregor? How hungry are the top 10 guys right now compared to Conor McGregor? And I think the answer is pretty self-evident.
See, as far as I'm concerned, I think Conor McGregor fighting right now is more for UFC than himself. I think UFC just needs him for a couple of more fights, and then maybe he can be done with it. UFC needs a big superstar in the absence of Khabib, because Khabib usne bola, nahi, I am not fighting. And by the way, congratulations to Khabib, and he's in the UFC Hall of Fame. By the way, not that it matters, because the real Hall of Fame should have been an MMA Hall of Fame, but MMA does not have a Hall of Fame. So there is a UFC Hall of Fame. It is what it is.
Yeah, but they have Khamzat coming up as a potential superstar, so let's see.
But
UFC will hope that he keeps winning.
The thing with Khabib also superstar kyun bana? Because of Conor, whether we like it or not. Conor made him a superstar. And there is something missing in Colby Covington. I just don't see him having that superstar thing. Conor had that uniqueness about him.
Yeah. उसका वो है ना, उसका सबको पता है कि उसका गिमिक है. But Conor में क्या है magical? What was magical about Conor कि आपको you never knew कि gimmick क्या है और असलियत क्या है. There was you never knew the difference between the gimmick and the reality. Colby के साथ सबको पता है कि gimmick क्या है, असलियत क्या है. That's his problem.
I think Conor right now is ranked 9 in the 155-pound division.
Yeah.
He has 2 fights. The funniest thing was somebody asked in a press conference to Dana White that is he on for a title shot? Dana White could not say no.
Of course, yeah.
I mean,
Conor can get title shots.
That says it all.
Yeah.
Top 5 pay-per-views in the history of UFC. All 5 Conor McGregor.
Oliveira, who's the champion right now. He's like, no, I'm happy to fight Conor, yaar. मेरे को Conor दे दो.
Conor से लड़ूंगा. हमको भी पैसा बहुत चाहिए क्योंकि उसको pay-per-view मिलेगा ना points.
Yeah.
Champ. He gets pay-per-view points. Who would not want to fight Conor McGregor? See, Conor McGregor did not just become rich himself. In the process, he made so many of his opponents and the UFC rich.
But you could also argue that he made Nate Diaz a star.
Oh, yeah. So, Nate Diaz se yaad aaya. I know there is one question. We will take that super chat. But Nate Diaz se yaad aaya. what the hell is UFC doing with him? उसका एक fight है and
Mm.
then his contract ends.
Yeah.
What do you make? Do you think the UFC is playing him dirty right now? मतलब उसके साथ जानबूझ के उंगली कर रहे हैं.
मतलब कैसे उंगली कर रहे कि उसको फाइट नहीं दे रहे?
अरे वो कितना फाइट मांग रहा है डस्टिन पोरियर के साथ, क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं वो लोग?
I don't know, maybe they want him to renew and then they'll offer him a fight. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. कि तू रिन्यू कर पहले, उसके बाद तेरे को फाइट देंगे, वरना फाइट नहीं देंगे.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. वो खुद इतना बड़ा स्टार है यार, वो अपनी मैरिजुआना कंपनी चला रहा है, वो अपना मौज करेगा. He's also not wanting for money. वो बस अपना लड़ना चाहता है because he enjoys it. लड़ता है, उसके बाद जाके पार्टी करता है.
I think he will sign with UFC.
Yeah.
He's also playing hardball.
Yeah.
And they tend to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope Israel Adesanya eventually becomes that next big superstar. He had a great deal apparently with the UFC. He just signed a new deal. He did not talk about it, but from all the news that we hear, it seems like a good deal he has had. Now, this question was asked.
Yeah, Izzy के साथ भी वही है. Izzy has, in my opinion, Izzy has the same issue that Colby has to an extent. Not as bad as Colby, but he has the same issue as Colby because I don't think Izzy is necessarily that dude that he portrays himself to be publicly. But Conor के gimmick में और असलियत में there was hardly any difference.
Conor had that authenticity.
Yeah, वो भी थोड़ा Izzy का missing है.
Yeah. So UFC fights are not fair sometimes. How can you put a kickboxer against a wrestler? Is it not unfair? Why? It's mixed martial arts. It's different styles testing against each other.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you change your style of fighting. That's the
go to
whole
boxing.
point about me.
Yeah, go to boxing, go to kickboxing. Kickboxing के इतने सारे promotions है, boxing के इतने सारे promotions है. MMA में लड़ना है तो भैया MMA सीखना पड़ेगा.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So, do you think Petr Yan wins in 273?
Yeah,
is that even a question?
I think
Please.
I think he wins.
मतलब उसको वैसे ही बेल्ट दे देनी चाहिए थी. वो भी फाइट जीत रहा था until that illegal knee happened.
Yeah. Yeah, he was leading 3-1 at least.
Yeah. Is there a chance of Khabib versus Conor in the future?
यार,
Never.
Nah. होगा भी तो फिर Khabib मारेगा
Yes.
उसको. हो कभी तो फिर Khabib मारेगा उसको.
Do you think UFC is a sport? Obviously it is a sport. ये किस किस्म का question?
What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Is what I want to know.
मतलब क्या?
आपको क्या लगता है? Cooking competition है?
Do you guys follow One Championship? Yeah, I do. On and off. I
Yeah.
do when some good fighters are fighting. I do.
Yeah. Every now and then I'll watch a pay-per-view. But I don't follow
What do
it
you
like
think of
UFC.
Justin's comments on the Conor situation? What were his comments? I don't know. These
I haven't
people
heard
make
them.
so many comments.
I haven't heard those comments as well.
Yeah, so I don't know. Tyson Fury is a great boxer. Somebody has asked. Yeah, Tyson Fury is a great boxer. I think
one of the greats, man.
Yeah,
look at
I
the
think
size of that
by
guy,
the end,
and look at the size of
Yeah,
that guy, and look at
6'9".
how light he is on his feet. It's stupid.
yeah, man. Yeah. So somebody has asked our views on Oliveira versus Gaethje. Well, there's no point giving our views on Oliveira versus Gaethje because we'll be covering that fight.
Yeah.
So वो करके कोई मतलब नहीं है. Okay, why is the UFC not coming to India? India is such a huge market, and UFC stars are quite big in India. They're not.
कहाँ से भाई? What makes you think UFC
They're not.
stars are big in India?
एक मिनट UFC
Yeah,
India
Ritu
के
Phogat is hardly big in India.
UFC India के इस समय followers देखो Twitter पे. ठीक है, UFC इंडिया के टोटल 16,400 फॉलोअर है. बस कर दो.
Yeah.
जज्बाती होना बंद कर दो.
Yeah.
ये हम लोग हैं जो देखते हैं.
Exactly.
ओ या अच्छा मैं समझ गया. तो जस्टिन गेची हैड सेड कि अगर उसको टाइटल फाइट नहीं मिली और कॉनर को मिल गई तो ही इज गोना थ्रो सम डॉलीज. यार सब लोग बोलते हैं दीस आर जस्ट
लेकिन ना डॉली भाई, तू तेरे को कौन रोक रहा है? तू फेक डॉली. तू क्यों टेंशन ले रहा है?
तो कॉनर की डॉली में बहुत वजन होता है.
Yeah. कॉनर की डॉली में वजन है. कॉनर का स्टार पावर है. तेरा भी स्टार पावर है, लेकिन कॉनर का कुछ और ही स्टार पावर है.
यार मतलब कॉनर इज कॉनर. जज्बाती नहीं होना चाहिए लोगों को.
Yeah.
बट ठीक है. I think we have covered pretty much everything. Next week वैसे just अभी कौन सी फाइट आ रही है मैं वो देखने की कोशिश कर रहा था.
Uncle Live versus वो है ना Santos.
Oh,
Great
yeah,
fight.
that's gonna be a good fight, bro. That's
Great
a
fight.
good fight.
Who do you have in that one? I have Ankalaev.
Ankalaev.
Yeah, I have Ankalaev. But यार मरेता का साला वो है ना, he has one punch power, उसका वो है, उसका उस तरह के लोगों को they always have a shot. जैसे what's his name? Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is not the most polished
Oh,
fighter, but
Marlon
he always
Moraes
has a
versus
shot.
Song Yadong है next week के
Yeah.
fight pass में.
Yeah, exactly.
Song Yadong versus Marlon Moraes लड़ रहे हैं.
अच्छा.
Oh, by the way, Izzy को हराने वाला Alex Pereira, वो ब्रूनो सिल्वा से लड़ने वाला है. यार इसमें तो अच्छे फाइट्स हैं यार. रुक मैं तेरे को शेयर करके बताता हूँ. रुक जा.
साला पेरेरा यार, he's something
मैंने
else.
कार्ड बराबर से स्टडी नहीं किया था. सांतोस अंकलाएव तो है ही अमेजिंग. ये फाइट भी जबरदस्त होने वाली है. Song Yadong.
Yeah.
Sadiq Yusuf versus
Alex
Caceres.
is a good fight.
I like this one.
Oh,
Khalil Roundtree जब भी लड़ता है.
wow. वो तो बहुत टाइम से इसको मैंने नहीं देखा यार.
Drew Dober,
Terence McKinney फिर लड़ रहा है, वो तो अभी लड़ा था ना.
हाँ फिर लड़. हाँ apparently लड़ रहा है.
क्या बात
और
है.
Alex Pereira versus Bruno Silva. मुझे Alex Pereira को देखना है. इसको देखना है.
Good fight.
Prelims हैं. Semmelsberger versus
AJ Fletcher,
Robertson Aldrich, Trevin Jones,
Javid Basharat, Damon Jackson. Oh, Damon Jackson. Nice. Good fight.
ये लुंगी अंबुला
Cody
बहुत अच्छा है.
Brundage,
साउथ अफ्रीकन.
yeah,
मजा आता है इसको
yeah.
देख के.
क्रिस मुटीनियो.
ये बंदा आ रहा है.
क्या बात है. आजा लौंडे.
ये अच्छा है.
आजा लौंडे.
ये अच्छा है.
मजा आएगा.
ठीक है. This is not bad
Good
actually.
fight, yeah. Good fight.
Next fight pass is not that bad. So
Yeah. सही है.
What to do if I want to podcast with you? ये किस किस्म का क्वेश्चन है?
बताओ, जाके जाओ बताओ.
मतलब मैं इसका आंसर भी कैसे दूं, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा. I want to podcast with you.
Yeah, write a book.
But why do you want to podcast with me?
किताब लिख यार, किसी बात पे, मुद्दे पे, एक अच्छी ऐसी किताब लिख, एक अनएड्रेस्ड मुद्दे पे, उसके बाद डिस्कस करेंगे.
Yeah. Yes. उसके बाद में यहाँ ईमेल करो मुझे या शाम को. ठीक है.
Yeah.
और कुछ शाम? Anything else?
I think we've covered everything.
I think we've covered everything. So guys, we will wrap today's discussion up again next week. जो fight pass है Santos versus Ankalaev March 13th का, please go and watch it. If you're in India, you can watch it on Sony 10.2 and Sony 10.3.
Yeah.
If you're in America, I guess ESPN Plus app में देखने को मिलेगा या UFC Fight Pass में. And please go and subscribe to Sham's YouTube channel and support him, whether on Patreon or YouTube and all those things. And the same with me. You can also buy the merch, whether it's Sham's merch or my merch on our respective YouTube channels. You'll see the merch link, or in my case, even on my website. And I will see you guys next time with Sham. We'll review 273 or preview 273. दोनों में से एक करेंगे. Until then, take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.